Good job Saturday night, Brian.
Well, I appreciate it. I felt like we had a car that could have won that if we wouldn't have stepped on our pee-pee in the heat race.
Looked good.
Well, I got kind of a funny story about that.
Yeah,
We went out and won Friday.
Guys, we're getting ready to go live.
Oh, we'll talk about it on there. Remember, you went out one Friday. Hello, motorsports family, local racing roundup. We're live on the works, and Mike Kraft is joining us. He's also the tech man here. You're the main tech man, aren't you?
You name it and I do it. I even clean the
I
bathroom.
think he's the only tech man. We got Brian Labonte on today.
Howdy.
He came to Valley Saturday night. We had a really good show at Valley Saturday night, Mike.
I haven't had a chance to talk to you. I was interested to see how the stock cars, what was your opinion?
My opinion is they need to be there every week. I mean, really. They put on a fantastic show, and I knew that before they came there that would happen.
Yeah.
I've seen them before.
Yeah.
At Bethany in Iowa, and I mean, IMCA's got the tiger by the tail.
Yeah, no, I agree. Of course, I'm a little bit prejudiced about it, Brian, but I've said I don't know how many times that I think stock cars, many times, any show, any track, put on the best show for the night.
I can't disagree with that statement.
They just, it seems to be, and I don't know this, we can talk a little bit about it, but it seems to me that there may be a leveler playing field for the stock cars than maybe some of the other classes.
I think that's probably true to a certain extent, but, I mean, money still rules the roost at times.
Well, and it's also the class where a lot of guys are settling in that have run other classes.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
I think the weight of the car has a lot to do with the success. I think the heavier car is glued to the track more and more in control. Have you driven anything else to know what I'm suggesting?
Hobby stocks. I've never driven modified before.
So, well, I think the modifieds are incredibly rear percentaged, and it's a big change. You've got more weight on your front wheels in that stock car, and I think therefore it's more controllable. But we'll get into that later. First of all, hey Mike, have you got new sheet metal here on your hot rods? I always notice a brand new shiny car, and even in the RC cars, they look pretty cool with a new fresh skin and a wrap. I think they paint this plastic from inside out. Anyway, that's pretty cool. But that's what I think is neat about Brian coming, because somebody posted a picture of your car beforehand, and that number 9 is 99, right?
Yes, sir.
I said, man, that's a good-looking race car.
Well, just don't look at the other side. It got kind of used up at Bristol.
At Bristol.
Yeah.
And the picture I saw was posted at Bristol.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was there because I watched it on TV for like all week,
It was a long week.
Did you enjoy the Bristol experience?
I did. We had some pretty bad luck go our way, but I did enjoy it all in all, yeah. Not sure I'd go back, but you never know, we might.
I would like to, I wish I had time to research all my random thoughts, but do you remember what lap times you were turning?
I believe they were 18, low 18s.
Low 18s.
Yep.
And the Cup cars, when they got on dirt?
21 seconds, I believe.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
man?
we were about a second and a half faster than the Cup cars were.
That's amazing.
But believe it or not, the Hornets were almost as fast as we were.
Really?
Oh yeah, those Southern Hornets are something else.
Well, the lap times that were really interesting to me alone at Bristol, but each division really put on a great show, and it was definitely enjoyed the entire week by many thousands of people, and you made an impression, I'm sure.
Well, I hope so. We did all right. I feel like we had a car that could have made the show if we'd had a little more luck go our way, but sometimes that's just the way it works.
Well, we were talking about your weekend this weekend. Of course, I have some notes here to go by, but I got to I don't want to lose thoughts that we were coming up with. We were talking about Saturday at Valley. Friday you did what and where?
Well, we won at 36 Friday night, and then we went to Valley Saturday, and, believe it or not, I didn't really feel that my car was that good Friday night, and in order to get it to rotate through the center, I had a lot of front brake in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went out for the heat at Valley, and we were leading it, and I had forgotten to take all the front brake out of the car, and I hit a little bit of a slick spot and hit them brakes, and that thing just went
I remember
front
that.
to back, so
Yeah.
probably could have had a little better starting spot if we hadn't have done that.
Yeah. IMCA's got an interesting way of doing their lineups. Now, I don't think we did it on that class at Valley, but they do an inversion in the features, and you probably experienced that at US 36, right?
We will next week.
Yeah.
It's draw-redraw the first night out.
And they redraw for the features, but we had I guess he's going to put up some video, but we'd like to review your weekend. And this was, Mike's saying here, first night at the track, how did it go, good, bad, or ugly? We know you've raced it elsewhere this year.
Yeah.
So let's just answer his question. First night at Valley, how did it go, good, bad, or ugly?
Well, I thought it went pretty good.
Other than doing the brake bias.
Yeah, no, I've never been to Valley before. That was a fun track to race on.
Yeah, well,
Real fun.
it was fun seeing you guys there, and the first thing that popped in my mind, I wonder if he's related to any of the Labontes.
Well, probably very, very distantly,
Very,
if at all.
very distantly, yeah. Well, where did you get this drive for racing? Was it your family, a trip to the racetrack? Where did you get this fire lit?
Well, we started racing go-karts when we were kids. I was probably 8 or 9, and my brother was probably 5 or 6.
And would that be in where, Liberty?
No, we grew up in central Kansas.
Central Kansas.
So, Beloit, Concordia, Harrington, Waukene,
Mm-hmm.
Topeka.
So little dirt tracks.
Yeah, dirt tracks.
Did they have specialty size tracks for carts, or were you on the quarter
No,
miles?
they were small tracks.
Small.
I can't say what size, 1/20th maybe, something like that.
Mhm. So you learned the basics of getting the car in the corner and using the brake did you use the brake in
Well,
carts?
it's been a long time, but I assume we probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we raced for, I don't know, till I was probably 16 in carts, and then quit racing for probably 10 years, and then got back into it in 2004 or 5.
So you mentioned central Kansas. Since then, have you moved closer to this area?
Yeah, we live in Lawrence.
In Lawrence, which is still out there in Kansas.
Yep.
You could go to central Kansas and race from Lawrence. You could go to RPM or...
Occasionally we go to Salina, we go to
Salina.
Hayes, Dodge City.
All IMCA hotspots.
Right.
In
Yeah,
Kansas.
IMCA's pretty big out that way.
Yeah. Is this one of your first cars here? I couldn't actually kind of feel an order for these. So.
That's probably about 2010 or so, maybe.
Oh, really? So that's back about 11 years.
Maybe 12.
Yeah.
So all this time, that long ago, you were living in Lawrence?
Yeah, I've lived in Lawrence since 2003. I moved back to Lawrence.
Does that mean you raced a lot at Topeka?
Yeah, Thunder Hill and Heartland Park.
Both,
Yeah,
Where you have any idea where
Thunder Hill, for
that's
sure.
Thunder Hill there?
Yeah.
And now, what class was this, Brian?
That'd be IMCA stock car.
That is a stock car. So is that what you started out in?
No, we started out in, it was back then it was Enduros, is what they called it, and then
Oh.
they kind of made it a weekly class, and they called it hobby stocks,
Oh, okay.
which is pretty similar to the pure stocks that they're running now.
I was going to say probably a pure stock like it is nowadays.
So that answers this question. You've always raced around and you settled in on IMCA. In your opinion, what makes sense about racing IMCA?
Well, I like the fact that I feel that it's the most competitive racing around. I mean, for the most part, you go back and you watch the races, and the classes are pretty close, front to back. Is what I like about it. We were in Tennessee last year for vacation. We went to a race down at Bulls Gap, and went and watched the races, and I mean, it was atrocious racing. I mean, you had one guy that led the race by 2 or 3 laps.
Oh,
And-
wow.
And, I mean, it wasn't really that entertaining.
Not as.
But you come back here and you watch IMCA, and that, for the most part, doesn't happen. I mean, you know, you
Uh-huh.
got guys that dominate, but they still don't win by 3 laps.
And see, those guys out southeast of here, like you're talking about, they don't know. Because they don't have IMCA
Well,
out there.
you know, maybe they'll,
I don't know of any place sanctioned IMCA.
starting to pick up in Arkansas, Batesville,
Yeah,
down in there is starting to
Mhm.
take off with a little bit of IMCA.
Now, this looks like a front-wheel drive car here. Whose hot rod is that?
My stepson had that car. That was
Blue.
probably about 2014, 15.
Okay.
So I guess that's when that other car was, yeah.
And there again, this was Thunderhill.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't about how you are, but I miss that place.
I do too.
So did you have your dad or a guru of some kind, a guy that kind of coached you in the beginning, somebody that answered your questions,
Well,
good or bad?
I was living in Arkansas, and I moved back to Kansas, and I don't know what happened, but one day, all of a sudden, we were going to build a race car,
Hey,
and we
I got an idea.
Sounds like you were sitting around the shop
Well,
drinking
yeah.
some cold ones. maybe.
that might happen occasionally.
That's usually how it starts.
And yeah, so next thing we know, we had a race car, and me and my brother were splitting time in it. And then the next year, we each had one, and then it's been that way ever since.
Always
So-
99.
Always, since I was first started racing.
Yeah.
I think my dad said, "Well, what number are you going to be?" And I said, "I think I said 100." He said, "Well, it's got to be 2 digits." I said, 99 then.
It's always a great story about a guy's number.
Yeah, it is.
It never fails.
Yeah. I think I heard Greg ask you, I was in the other room there, but no connection between you and the Labonte racing family?
No. None.
Even no distant?
No,
Well,
Terry,
my-
Bobby, and Brian.
My dad talked to their dad one night, well, when they were having the Craftsman truck race at Heartland Park, Topeka.
Yeah.
And we were in the pits, and he talked to Terry and Bobby's dad, because I believe Terry was racing a truck there.
Uh-huh.
And they talked for a little while, and I believe that we determined that their family and our family are from the same part of Quebec, French Canada.
Uh-huh.
So there's a chance. But
Yeah.
from what I
Yeah.
understand, Labonte's kind of like Smith is in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Uh,
yeah, anything with a law up in
Yeah.
French
So
territory.
chances are pretty slim. But
Yeah.
yeah, we always claim it. It doesn't hurt anything.
I noticed the stripe here on the bottom of this. It kind of goes along with, I saw several pictures on your Facebook page. Are you a big hunter?
Oh,
Looks
I'd like to
geese,
think so.
Ducks, something like that?
I like to think so.
Yeah.
The
And
ducks and geese don't think so.
when I saw the camouflage, I thought, okay, I see where that kind of comes from.
It's funny, he comes to Valley and there was a goose there that
There
night.
was.
Well, there's one nest in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Because that last time I was there was a goose out on the
He
track.
gave us a flyby.
Yeah.
Him and I couldn't find Maverick, but I saw Goose.
Well, she's probably just trying to protect that nest, Greg. She's
I
trying to get
guess so.
everybody's attention away from that.
Anyway, we're going to hopefully have you guys back again because that was such a great show.
I'll definitely be back.
Yeah.
I had a really good time there. I think next time I'll try to drag my brother along.
Yeah, that would work.
He was working on his house last weekend, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we didn't have a big car count of IMCA stock cars, but it's equal or more than any other type of stock car we've had.
Ever had there, yeah. Well, and in a lot of respects, something like that too, though, it's got to get out.
Mhm.
In other words, I'm sure Brian's told somebody how racy the track was and how much fun it was. Well, somebody hears that, they're going to want to go too.
I got to tell you, though, you're talking about your brakes. It was a unique situation this Saturday that there was a wet spot that wasn't entirely ironed in there in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It's never like that. It just happened to be that night.
Yeah.
And, we have a curfew. And
Right.
so Dennis is so concerned about getting stuff done quickly, and that's totally understandable. But
I thought the track was pretty good.
it's always good.
Yeah. Speaking of curfew, I could see almost where that could be a good thing for a lot of tracks, because
Yeah.
some of them just kind of take forever sometimes, and in a way, I wish some tracks would address some of that in a different way than what they're doing.
Well,
As far as limiting the time, I mean, if we can't get the race in 20 minutes, I mean, to me, that's getting kind of out of hand, but whatever. But I presume this is the lady here that says you can do everything.
gosh, it is. My lovely bride, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Charlie just started racing this year.
Well, I think we got a picture here coming up directly. But, boy, this is a pretty spot. Where is that, Brian?
That, I believe, is in Gatlinburg.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Or your trip to Tennessee where you went
Yep.
to volunteer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
Bulls
think,
Gap.
Yep.
I don't know, but I think they've got a lot of trout fishing. I don't know
They sure do.
whether this smallmouth or what, but either one would be, I'm sure.
I didn't take a poll. They do. There was a lot of people fishing. Yes.
Yeah. The only thing is, some of those out-of-state fishing licenses are crazy. I mean, you like 2 days for $15, or where you can do it for a month in your home state or a year for 15
$25,
bucks
yeah.
or 25, yeah. But pretty spot it looks like. Ron Gatlinburg, man, I haven't been down there in years and years.
That was my first time. I'll definitely go back. It was pretty neat.
So you spent some time in Tennessee. Was that during your time at Bristol?
No, this was actually last summer is when we went.
Now,
Look
is
at
this your a team car? Because I think I seen
Well,
that
that's
car.
that's my brother's car. Yeah,
Up
that was
at-
right before we left to go to Bristol.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I seen that car up at 36. He was there Friday night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
That's what I thought. I can tell he doesn't have any superstitions about drink.
No, we don't really subscribe to that. my wife will, however, let me eat chicken on race day.
She will let you eat chicken?
Will not.
Oh, will not?
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the questions I think is gonna be coming up later, whether or not you had any superstitions of any kind on race day, but it's one of those racer things.
Well, you came close on your 99 because they say whatever you got number, if it's legible upside down, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But it's 66. Pushing your luck there a little.
Yeah. Now, when that says a Grand Prix, does that pretty much just go for the nose piece?
Well, that body is actually a '98 Grand Prix.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'll be darned.
It was brand new 8 weeks ago. It's not anymore. That's all right.
Pre-Bristol days?
Yeah.
Mike, were you here when we were talking about lap times at Bristol? These
Stock cars?
stock cars turn faster laps than the cup cars.
Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna step out on a limb here, and it'll probably snap and break and hurt me, but running those NASCAR's cars on Bristol to me was a joke. But
I wouldn't go that far.
that's just me. I mean,
I think they tried to keep it too much like their weekly race.
Yeah.
And they should have taken the windshields out and done some other stuff to.
yeah, I agree. I know it's one of those things that it's something new, and you're going to appeal to a lot of people, and it'll tickle somebody's fancy. But in all honesty, the racing was, I thought.
I don't know. I'm old school as can be, and it reminded me of back in the day when they did race dirt. They
Uh-huh.
had windshields then.
Yeah.
They had wipers on them. You know. Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. Now
Is
this,
that a Topeka quarter midget?
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Does he run up there?
Yeah.
I'm going to get up there this year. The Reed brothers
Oh yeah,
have invited me up for like 2 years. The only problem is they run during the day.
it is. It
And
makes for a
shooting.
long day.
Well, shooting video in the day is hard.
There's 2 night races,
Is
I
there?
believe, and I'm not sure what the dates are, but there are
Uh,
2 night races.
Okay. Now, is this little guy, is this your son or grandson?
No, it's my son.
It's your son. And
Yep.
he's how old?
He's 6.
Oh my gosh.
Which is about average out there. They're all.
Yeah.
He's one of the littler ones, but I don't know that he's the smallest, but he's close.
Yeah. Greg.
But he's by far the cutest.
Greg was up there, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And he just come back telling me about, Mike, you got to go up there and do
This
this.
is my first time, and that place has probably been there 30, 40 years.
Since 1950 something.
Huh.
Really?
Yep.
That's as long as
But I could be a little wrong on that.
Well, it was way up there.
Yeah.
Taller than a human being, you know.
Absolutely it was.
Look at this. This is
This is,
US 36. This is Friday night.
Yep.
this is Friday night. And I don't know why, but I only ended up with like a minute or so. I think I've only got 4 laps of this race, and I must have forgot to hit record earlier on. But Brian got out front, and
Checked out.
nobody could get up there and challenge him. Shadron and Turner were sure trying, I can tell you that. But
Checkers.
I'll take it.
2 checkered flags on a heat race. That was a heat race.
No, that's a feature.
That's a feature.
Yeah.
A short feature. I guess it just showed the last few laps.
50, should be 15 laps, I believe. 15 or 16
So
laps.
you take the win, and that puts you pretty good up in. Are you going to run for national IMCA points?
Oh gosh, no. Those guys race way too much for me.
So will there be a motivation for you to race more IMC tracks close to your?
There is definitely motivation, but I'm not sure I'm quite that motivated to run for state or points like that. You know, you got to. Those guys that do good up that, they run 3 or 4 nights a week, and that's just too much for me.
Because here's your boy.
That's my nephew, actually. That's my
Nephew.
brother's son.
And
Yeah.
where is this at?
That's in Gatlinburg.
Oh,
Well, my funny story, we went to this go-kart place, and they actually had carts that were small enough for my son to drive. And so he got out there, and he was driving around, and he got out, and he didn't want to get off the cart. And I looked at my wife, I said, well, I think it's time to get him a car. And then we came home, and shortly thereafter, we bought that quarter midget. So, that... But I'm pretty impressed with his car control for being 6 years old. He's pretty doggone good.
I don't have a kid that age anymore, but man, that trip to Topeka made me want a kid. Just to go buy one of them cars. Those are really cool race cars.
They're pretty neat. They're pretty legit. They certainly are a race car.
And they've had a long time to perfect the rules. They're pretty stringent on their tech, aren't they?
This was 2 weeks ago was our first race there, so they seem to be pretty stringent on it.
No, I was there then, so I didn't recognize the car though. But they had, oh man, I bet they had 30 cars, 30.
where's
or
that at,
40.
Greg?
At Topeka.
Oh, the
Quarter
night
midgets.
you were there?
Yeah, he was there that day too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 30 to 50. I mean, it's kind of deceiving because so many of those people the kids race multiple cars. So like one kid will race 2 to 3 or 4 classes.
Oh, really?
So
And they got trailers to accommodate,
yeah.
believe me.
It almost sounds like out of the KC Raceway. They run one car to run 2 or 3 races, or
Yeah.
classes, which I haven't figured out how they do that.
This is Gatlinburg too, I assume.
oh yeah.
Looks like fun. Those boats are fun. I did something like that down at Branson and got my wife all wet.
We had a good time.
Yeah, sure looks like it. Gatlinburg's a great place. It's a tourist trap. I guess I must like those because it was sure a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a tourist trap, but I had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg, you know where that is? Welcome to the Gap.
Yeah, that's Bulls Gap that he was talking about. That's called Volunteer Speedway
Yep.
in Bulls Gap, Tennessee. It's high banked.
Yeah.
I think every racetrack in Tennessee is high banked.
Oh, really?
It's an awesome facility. It really is a neat place.
Yeah.
But, you know, the only racing that was really compelling was the late models, but the guy still lapped most of the field.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's funny how in every part of the country the racing reflects the years that they've been doing it. And they've been racing a long time down in the southeast, but NASCAR is like our IMCA, and it overachieved, and they don't run dirt. They did at Bristol, but they're trying to get back to IMCA style racing by doing that.
Okay.
See, IMCA used to come to state fairgrounds with windshields and big cars, heavy cars.
On the mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have. He was saying in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, how the racing wasn't as close as it is here with IMCA. IMCA is the king of dirt, for stock cars.
Yeah. Boy, it's all over this part, and I think even a lot western and up, if I remember right, upstate of Washington, I think
Yeah.
they're active up there. I was up at Grays Harbor, and I think they were running IMCA classes up there, if I remember right.
It's starting to take over in California a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah, my brother's old car went to California.
Huh, I'll be darned. Well, it's no wonder. I understand it. I mean, I think they're really working at trying to keep the costs down and to make it as competitive across the board as they can.
I would agree with that.
And you know, for fans, that's what you want. You want to see a race out there. Like you said, who wants to see somebody lapping everybody?
I'll say, oh, there's something with teeth on your car.
Like an alligator.
It's my son's favorite car. I kind of wanted it to look like a World War II fighter.
Oh, yeah?
It was what I was shooting for.
Uh-huh.
Without the centerfold, babe.
Well, we couldn't find a place to put it, and my wife probably wouldn't have approved.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Now, here's probably folks can't see that too well, but that's down on the beaches there in Panhandle, Greg, not too far from you. That's right around Destin. Where are you?
Yeah,
Or Destin?
I'm not far from Destin down there.
Yeah. And Brian said it was a lovely place. Wants to go
Where
back.
was that Destin?
Yeah, it was Destin.
When?
Last November.
Yeah,
My buddy was kind enough to get married after racing season.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm spending winters down there, and I really enjoy it.
That sounds terrible.
The racetracks in the Panhandle aren't as adventurous about off-season racing as they are lower in the state. But there's the yellow. What body style is that?
That's a Monte Carlo, 2004, probably 3, 4.
Well, you've always got good-looking cars.
Yeah, I agree.
We
You
try.
hang the bodies yourself?
Well,
You do all that fab?
I'm not sure I'm going to take credit for this year's, but yes, we do.
Yeah.
That's great.
I was always kind of taught that why would you pay somebody to do something you can do yourself?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta learn how to do it, though.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
gotta be done right.
This does not look like a good night at the races.
No, that was in Hayes, I believe,
Oh, my.
at Fall Nationals.
Now, is that you and your brother?
No, that's Brian Rigsby's car.
Oh, okay. I've heard the name.
So, yeah,
I'm sure I've either seen him at Salina or Hayes or somewhere.
he
out
used to
there.
race at Thunder Hill.
Did
Race
he?
all around, yeah.
Yeah. Man, must have been some brutality going on there that night. Of course, that now is this that fall race they
Yeah,
have
it's
at
the
the
Fall
Nationals?
Nationals, yeah.
There's some tough cars show up for that.
Yeah, there really is. That's,
And
I've never made the A-main at that show.
haven't you?
And
Wow.
It's been trying for 10 years. Maybe this will be the year.
Me and Mary were going to stop by. We were coming back from Colorado, but I think we missed the weekend or something. I can't remember exactly what happened.
You should make a point to go out there because it's quite an event.
Yeah, I've been twice, but I haven't been in like 10 years. But Greg, you know where this is, or what it is?
Call a weirdo?
Colorado, yeah, the Great Sand Dunes.
I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah, yeah,
That was a few years ago.
that's a nice place to visit there.
Yeah, so those places you're talking about racing, it might as well be in Colorado. They're way out there on I-70.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
yeah. Hayes, I think, is 4.5 hours from here,
From here, yeah.
if I remember right. Here we go. Some people say it's a shame to spend so much money on a race car. I say it's a shame they've never known what it's like to roll onto the track and hit high gear.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I believe that. I'd love to try it
It's
one
old
time.
kryptonite car.
Yeah. But
Probably old Kyler Carpenter.
Yeah, he's a driver now.
no, that's the truth. Some will never know. By golly, I think that's the last picture we got up there.
Have you ever gone to the races and it says here, have you ever had a no on race day? A no. Okay, like chicken,
Yeah,
popcorn in
chicken,
the
yeah,
pits,
yeah.
any of those crazy things that racers do for luck. We kind of covered that.
Yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah.
really.
No chicken for your team,
Yeah.
says your wife.
Yeah.
Is there one person in this team that you've got with you and your brother that you could not do without that person?
My one person would be my wife, because she allows it, and she's a huge help. Anything from keeping the helmet clean to making sure the cooler's packed and the kids fed. It'd be
Yeah,
pretty hard to do it without her.
That's
Yeah.
great to have somebody like that in your life.
Yeah, they're always such an important part, and it seems like it's kind of the glue.
Would you include her in this statement? In your opinion, what makes people win races? Work in the garage, driver, good money, to do what you want with? I mean, is your wife supportive in all those categories?
Well, she's as supportive as she can be. She gets a little short fuse sometimes when I'm never home in the summer.
Uh-huh.
And, I've been trying to keep the quarter midget in my garage so I can actually have an evening to work at home, but it seems like all my tools are at the other shop. And
Yeah.
That quarter midget is appealing at so many levels. It's too bad I'm not that small to race on.
Well,
But it fits in your, you don't have to have a big garage.
Yeah,
You don't have to have a big trailer,
right.
It's the ideal.
yeah,
So I just need to find an orphan or something.
An orphan.
I think they're out there.
Just pick some kid up on the side of the road. Hey, you want to race tonight?
Don't care about nothing. Kid that cusses. Yeah.
Brian, who are the people that get you to the track each week? I know we've talked about your wife, but I'm sure you've got some people in the garage, and then there
We
are
do.
probably fans and sponsors and folks
Well,
like that. But
you know,
who are the ones that get you to the track every week?
We got some guys that help us in the shop: Brett Hout, Chad Howard, Dave Bailey. My dad helped us out some, and then we got some sponsors. E. Edwards Workwear, which is out of Kansas City.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's a pretty good thing on the side
Yeah,
there.
and then they actually have a brand of clothing called KCCheeseVideo that he wanted on the car this year. Flegel Electric out of Seneca, Kansas. They decided they wanted to be on board when they found out we were going to Bristol. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah.
Mel Tennyson is a guy that helps us out, a guy that was a fan in the stands and decided he wanted to sponsor us, so he helps us out some. Waltz Restoration, which is my brother's wife's dad, he helps us out quite a bit building gears and things. National Beef Wire is a guy that helps us out some. And Cheetah Chassis, Nick Newton, he helps us out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what chassis you have on
yeah,
your car?
me and my brother both have Cheetahs.
Yeah, we didn't get to ask that. That was one of the questions, was I want to know about the chassis and who built the motors and shock package.
Goldfish Racing Shocks out in Nebraska does our shocks for us.
Okay.
And, we built my motor ourselves. Well, with some help from Mel, we built my motor. And a shop in Emporia did the machine work. But my brother's motor, I believe, came out of, I don't know, some outfit out there. I'm not sure.
Out in Kansas?
Yeah, Hill City. And then we have another
Oh,
guy that
really?
does some motors
Wow.
for us that, Curtis Croissant helps us out some on some motors too.
Wow.
You can go straight north of Lawrence and race at Beatrice, Nebraska. Have you been up there?
Never been there.
That's stock car heaven.
It sure
Yeah.
is. I need to get up there. The problem is they race Fridays and it's about a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to do after work.
Yeah, we'd have to
Long
leave
way.
early.
Yeah.
I've never been, but one of these days I'm just going to show up there.
Yeah.
And Eagle is running stock cars this year, so we might try to venture up there on a Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah, but both those places are great.
Typical IMCA hotspots again.
Yeah.
Especially in the state of Nebraska. Really are. But Brian, I want to thank you for driving down here, man. It's great of you to come down from Lawrence and be on with us. And it's been a pleasure to kind of get to know you and get to talk to you and find out some of your history and, what you've been doing. All I can say is, man, last Friday it looked impressive.
Well, hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Yeah, I was going to say, just keep doing what you did that night, and it should be good. and maybe I'll catch up with you down at Valley sometime.
Absolutely.
Get to watch you down there, but like I say, I want to thank you again for driving down from Lawrence to be on with us. It's been a real
Yeah.
pleasure having you on.
It was a pleasure coming. Nice to meet you two guys.
Yeah. Oh, you know, you get some more races on your kid there, and we'll have him on the show too.
Well,
Yeah, we can have a double up.
he'd be entertaining. As long as you have a juice box and some fruit snacks, he's in.
Well, now that I know you, I'll come out there to watch him on a Sunday afternoon.
There you go.
Are you going every Sunday?
At this point, we plan to, yeah.
Yeah.
Great, great.
We'll be there.
But anyway, thanks a lot for coming, Brian. We're going to excuse you here.
All
Head
right.
on home. I hope you've already had supper and everything.
I sure did. Ate early dinner.
Well, good. But thanks a lot for coming, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Like I say, it's great of you to do it.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Like I say, just keep doing what you do, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful to have you.
Absolutely.
Give Brian a call, Greg, if you want to fill some time there for a minute. And we'll get Blake on the line there.
Thank you so much.
Good to meet you, Brian.
See you next time at Valley.
Yeah. You know, talking about Valley, we are racing our regular weekly show again this Saturday. Tomorrow night's a big night at KC Raceway. We're kicking off the
Blake?
season with
It's Mike.
midgets.
I'm going to put you on speaker. For
Power
a minute.
Eye has jumped
We'll do
on
it.
board our All-Star Midget Series that Ray Boyles pioneered and got Chad Freewalt involved, and they're making a nice organization that'll be able to race around the metro area under the Power Eye banner. So we can't wait to see them tomorrow night at KC Raceway.
Yeah.
Midgets.
I'm looking forward to that myself, actually.
Blake Kisner. Are you on the phone, Blake?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mike, I guess, did Mike see you race this weekend? How did you connect with Blake?
He was down at Nevada and
At
was in the
Nevada.
B-Mod class down there. The evening didn't exactly go the way he wanted, but we enjoyed watching Blake, and also got to talk with his mom, his uncle, and his aunt. They were seated right in front of where I was videoing, and just had a great time talking with them. But Blake, I was just wondering, how or where did your racing experience start? I mean, was it a high school friend, family, or just a trip to the local track?
My dad, he always took me to the races, pretty much. Me, my dad, my grandpa, would go travel and go watch races.
Where did you
Pretty
grow up?
much, we would go watch Justin Folk race anywhere and everywhere he went. We always went and watched.
Yeah,
So you're from that Fort Scott area?
Humboldt.
Humboldt.
Yeah, I'm from Chanute.
Chanute.
That's right.
John
Yep.
Allen country. Yeah, that's a great area. That Humboldt track has been around a long time. It used to race on Wednesday night back
it
in the
did?
day, and then it set idle, and then its new generation
Yeah.
popped up. I think Friday night mainly, since it started back again.
Right.
But,
I'm trying to remember the owners' names down there. Blake, can you help me with that? I can't remember.
Ryan and Renda Whitworth.
Whitworth. I couldn't think what it was. But man, I mean, that place has taken off. Of course, I'm sure some of the popularity of that track has to do with them hosting the big USMTS race down there every spring. King of America,
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it is. But did we get that question answered that I asked you about how did your racing experience start? Was it a high school friend, family, or... Oh, you said your dad used to take you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And my
okay.
grandpa. Yep.
Right.
So is Nevada a place that you went to as a kid, or is that kind of a new experience?
No, I went there as a kid as well. Pretty much all the tracks around, and I've been to. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, and I think I stated it wrong. I said Whitey Folk, but you say it was Justin Folk?
Yeah, well, Justin Whitey Folk, probably people know him more as Whitey Folk.
Okay. Okay, so I was right after all.
Yeah.
I thought I'd said it wrong. Well, what, were you guys friends in school or what?
No, he was older than me, but, I don't know, I kind of just picked him out of the group of racers that I liked and
Yeah,
kind of just stuck with him.
Now, that Polk family is great.
yeah.
I spent a lot of time hand lettering race cars, and I would go to a town that had a racetrack, and of course they knew me, and it would grow in each town, and I spent a lot of time in Folkville. We painted race cars for Tom Folk and Gerald Folk, and Jesse Folk was the Folk's dad,
Yeah.
and then Justin and Jesse Jr., and they called Whitey, I guess because he had a blonde hair. He was kind of a towhead when he was a kid.
Towhead?
But, man, them are some great people.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Brian, Blake, it looks like you were an athlete in high school. We got a picture up here, and of course what I'm trying to run through my mind is, with you carrying the ball now, were you an offensive player or defensive player or both?
No, I just played offense only. That's all I did.
What position?
I was a running back.
A running back. Now, was this at Chanute High then?
Yep.
I guess so. There's a C on the helmet. That ought to be a clue.
Yeah.
So you were number 36, and I have no idea. I haven't seen pictures of it yet, but has that number been on one of your race cars?
No, just 6.
Just the
6K.
6.
Just a 6?
Drop the 3. Well, I have to ask, I mean, did you, or were you able to further your career in college and play football in college?
Yeah, I went to Fort Scott and played there for about a season, and then it just wasn't for me anymore, and I started working.
Yeah. I was going to say, it looks like in these two pictures, now what years were these two pictures taken in high school?
Probably 2012.
So
Graduated in 2013. So.
about 9 years ago. Well, all I can say is it looks like you've been eating a lot of good home cooking.
Yeah.
Because you look at least 50 pounds lighter there, man. I mean, what, 185, 190?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we won't talk about what you're pushing now.
Yeah.
Looked like you come off a box of Wheaties.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, lean and mean, man.
So
Look at here now. I keep thinking of Paul Bunyan when I see this picture.
the sports thing, I mean, do you like sports in general? Can you relate to football to the racing at all? I mean, you get the same buzz off of it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really take anything from it. Two different things for me, I guess.
Well, one's a team sport, and the other is sort of a team sport, but when you get on the track, it's pretty individual. It's just you.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get out there, so. But still, it's kind of like being a running back, man. You've got to decide where you're going to make your cuts, your turns, your whatever. So,
Yep.
Some of it might relate slightly.
So what are you doing, working on the railroad in this picture?
Yeah,
Driving
yeah.
spikes?
Right after college, I started working railroad and been working railroad ever since, really.
And is that right there in Chanute?
No, that is up there in, I think it's probably in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And where do you work out of now?
Right now, I recently left the railroad because I was traveling too much and I wanted to race more.
Uh-huh.
So then now I got a job here working for the city of Joplin.
Oh, okay. Job.
Yeah.
That's a drive, too.
Yeah. Boy, now, here, this looks like maybe one of the early race cars here. Looks like it's got a few bruises on it, but is that a Nova?
Yeah, yep.
Now, was that the first race car?
Yeah, that was pretty much my first race car.
Yeah. So a Nova, and what class was this stock cars or something?
It was pure stock van.
Pure stock, yeah, okay.
Yep.
And where did you mostly race that at, Brian? Or Brian? Blake, I'm going to get it straight.
I raced at Mid-America Speedway. It was in South Coffeyville,
South
Oklahoma.
Coffeyville,
Yeah,
Because on Friday nights it was hard to get to the track at Humboldt because I played sports, so a lot of that stuff was on Fridays.
uh-huh.
And then, so I only had Saturday to do my race, and then I went down there a lot.
Yeah, okay. Where was your first race, and how did that evening go?
My first race was at Mid-America there at South Coffeyville.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting second my very first race.
Really?
Yep.
How long ago was that?
Oh, man. Years probably 2010,
Okay.
maybe.
So you've been at it about 11 years. Now this
Yeah.
looks like, this next picture here looks like quite a step up from that other one. from the Nova up here to this car. This one looks really classy here, nice looking car.
Yeah, that one was I got that. It was maybe actually a year or two ago. It was a street stock. I wanted to try street stock, and then I had that for a minute, and then the street stock kind of was dying out, and then I decided I needed to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to try it just to say I was in street stock, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that looks like Humboldt. Am I correct?
No, that's at Nevada.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They painted that wall yellow since then.
Yeah, I was going to say they painted it yellow, but I was thinking that was what Humboldt's walls looked like.
Kind of got Whitey Folks number 6 there.
Yeah.
So that's where your number pretty much come from. You just got it from Whitey.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking car.
Yeah, it is.
Hate to hear that class. We just had the IMCA driver on here that races IMCA stock cars, which is basically that class. It needs to be organized nationwide. I mean, man.
Mhm.
There you are.
Yeah. This must be the little gal that says it's okay to go racing.
Yep. That's my girlfriend right there.
Yeah. High school, college, where did you guys meet?
Well, we grew up in the same town
Uh-huh.
and just right down the road from each other, but we didn't really start talking to each other until about 3 years ago, and she was living over here in Joplin, going to college, and then that's where we kind of just started dating, and then that's what made me come over here to Joplin.
There's
Well,
always a story.
There's always a story. Yeah, I hear you. Of course, it's probably pretty nice to. Has she graduated?
Actually, she graduates this Saturday.
This Saturday. Well, good for her.
Nursing school.
Well, good for her. That is great, because you ever get hurt, she can take care of you.
Yep.
That's fun. That's great, man. Grew up down the street from each other. That's unreal.
Mhm.
Well, now, is she a big race fan? Does she go with you quite a bit?
Yeah, she never really liked it before we started dating, and then once we started dating, then
Yeah.
I started taking her, and then she just liked it ever since.
Yeah. Well, we've got a group of pictures here now, and just going from the one of it looks like you in the driver's seat to the number 2 there, it's no wonder you became a race car driver.
Yeah, I think that was at Lynn County.
Oh, Lynn County.
Go back.
Man, that goes back.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Of course, what are you there? You look about 4?
I'm not for sure. I'm pretty young.
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
whose
gonna say.
car that was that's got the 2 on it?
I'm not for sure. I don't know. I can't even remember.
Yeah. Well, you guys must have went down in the pits after the races anyway.
Yep.
But like I say, man, a picture like that, you're just destined to be a race car driver. You ain't really got any choice. I don't think. You've been a product of this Southeast Kansas racing, like I say, Humboldt, South Coffeyville, down in that area. What is the toughest track to race down that way for you?
I'm going to say Humboldt. Humboldt's tough. I mean, we have some of the best races raced there every Friday night, and it's one of the tougher tracks, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have some really, really great competition down there. Boy, this car we've got up here now looks like you didn't have a good night here. Kind of got some bruises on it.
So
Yeah.
you've got a B
Yeah.
mod, or you're in B mods. What do you use a chassis? Have you used different chassis from other builders? What's the story on that?
My first B mod, that was my first B mod, and it was a Bamboozle car, and I got it from Jimmy Davis. He raced there at Humboldt, and then I'm pretty sure it was one of Ryan Whitworth's cars that they were building at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it
And,
looked like you had a
Had
good
a
night.
few different ones since then, so.
Yeah. It looked like you, like I say, had some trouble this night.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just a picture of it at home. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think it's
Oh,
just
here we go.
washing. I think we're just washing it.
Yeah. We're starting to watch the video here of you racing down at
Nevada.
Nevada, and there again, I don't really have too much of this. Of course, I think I quit videoing it after you crashed, or after, not crashed, but after you blew the motor. But right here, watch it, Greg. Uh-oh, whoops, boom.
That's Nevada.
What happened there, buddy?
I don't know. Just stepped on it, I guess. Trying too hard.
Battle for the bottom.
Battle for the bottom, but he was 3/4 of the way up the track, Greg.
Yeah, but still, watch it again.
Okay, now he's back in the back. And I'm not too sure, but I think here's another yellow flag, but he clears that one. So he's going to move up at least one spot here after starting in the back. Well, how was the track? I mean, was it really that slick? Because that's two of you almost in identical same spots.
No, I don't know what his deal was, but my deal was I just stepped on mine. But I mean, it wasn't too slick. The track was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, just hadn't made enough circuits yet to really feel out what it was doing, probably. How about that?
Yeah.
That's what I'd call it.
Well, I'll tell you, the track drives different nowadays than it used to. Used to be, we would all this battle for that
Bottom.
inside line.
Yeah. Well, he's already back up to third. There he was in last there. Now he's back up to third. And looks like here now he's just about to pass the 101. Gets him down the back chute. And the 101 almost stops right there. Here he takes over second. Well, I'm thinking here, Blake, you got a real shot at this thing here.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good car, to be honest with you. I just needed to get my marks right, and then I think I probably could have ran him down, maybe.
Well, the other thing is he got disqualified at the scales.
Yeah.
The 116 did.
You heard.
No, really.
For being too light, and the 101 actually ends up being the winner.
Yeah, I know. So we would end up winning that night, but it's just our luck that we drop a piston there.
Oh, I thought you dropped a valve, you said.
Oh, yeah, drop the valve, yeah.
Yeah.
The valve into the piston.
Have you taken it apart yet?
No, not yet. I mean, we got it out and everything, but we haven't got it sent to anybody yet.
Yeah. But like I say, Greg, he's looking good here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hanging right in there.
That makes me want to go to Nevada.
With your car?
I've probably got, oops, there it goes.
There it goes.
A lot of laps at Nevada.
Yeah.
Probably more than any place else.
I mean, I presume you heard that thing pop when it went, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Sad, man. Looking so good.
Yeah, that's a shame, 'cause like I said, man, I thought you really had a shot at it. I thought that 116 just messes up a little bit. Blake might give him a run for the money, but we've got another car here. It looks like, are all of these B mods now that are modified?
Yeah, all these were B mods, yep.
Yeah.
This one was one of the Folks cars.
Oh,
It
okay.
was one of their chassis.
Okay.
I was wondering if there was somewhere that you were going to end up with a folk car.
Yep. Yeah, and then I had that one, and honestly raced just one race with it. Got it all done, did up, and raced one race. And then I ended up selling it.
Oh, really?
Yep, and then I got that street stock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, this looks like this is at the shop. Where is you guys' shop? Is it at your dad's place, or where do you work on the car?
Right now I have the shop here at my house.
Oh, that's right. You're living in Joplin. Is he still in Chanute then?
Yeah, my dad's from Chanute.
Oh, okay.
Hey, do you
Was that-
remember the track at North? They called it North Fork, north of Joplin.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to the races there, or did you race on it?
Yeah. No, I've been there before. Actually, I won a bicycle race there. I was younger. I had to borrow a little girl's bike to win, but
I love
great.
that. That's good. Oh,
Boy, you grew up in a good part of the country. You got
Yeah.
hit a lot of good racetracks.
you know,
yep.
I was talking to your dad there for a while, and I think that one of the things that kind of impressed me is that he said that he had never raced, and that when you told him, you were going to start racing, why, I guess he just kind of took it on himself to jump right in there and help you out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he knew at one point I was going to want to start racing, but just didn't know when.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, I always wanted to race ever since I was little, so it was just that time for me to start racing.
Yeah.
And then my parents helped me out and got me that Nova, and then it just, ever since then, just been racing.
Yeah. Well, is or was he a mechanic of any kind, or like I said, was this all just out of the blue and new to him too?
I mean, he knows his way around a car, I guess. Like,
Uh-huh.
he knows his stuff,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing, because
Yeah.
when you're doing this, man, it seems like to me, Greg, you can't have enough help working on a race car.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, did we just witness as close as you came to winning a feature, or do you have feature wins under your belt?
I mean, I've won 20-plus feature wins in my pure stock and a championship, but I've never won a B-mod feature.
Yeah.
I've always gotten second. I don't know how many seconds I've gotten, but too many to count.
I understand. It looks like you and your lady friend again here. I don't know. Got any idea where this picture is?
Yeah, that was on our vacation. We went to Alabama.
Oh,
Yep.
looks like a nice spot, man. And
Did you have an Alabama connection, family, or something?
No, we just go down there for vacation every year.
what part?
Like Orange Beach,
Oh, you're down on the
down near
Gulf.
that area.
Yeah, down on the Gulf.
hmm
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm learning that area. I got a place in the Panhandle,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people don't know that Alabama has a beach. So does
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. What is it? Alabama? It's called what? Gulf Shores.
Yeah, Gulf Shore. Yep.
If I remember right.
Right.
And it's not a very big area. It can't be 50 miles, if it's that much. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just they got a little piece between Florida and, what's the next one over there? Mississippi.
Yeah.
I think. Just a short little they must have done some shipping or something back in the beginning of the statehood where they wanted to have ocean access, I guess.
Well, you probably didn't realize it when you were there. I'll probably get you in trouble for next time you go. But there's 2 or 3 racetracks right around there. Dirt
Oh,
track.
really?
Yeah, there's a paved track called Five Flags, and then there's 3 Deep South Speedway, and in Milton, Florida is another dirt track, and then there's one north of there. So.
I got a real kick out of your aunt. I presume your mom or somebody watched that interview I did with her, but
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night when she was telling me, we were just talking there, and all of a sudden she said something about, well, I was his first sponsor. And I said, oh, really? So I thought, well, I'll go over and talk to her. And she said, yeah, I was his first sponsor. I bought him a carburetor. And she says, I thought I would be grandfathered in, but she said it didn't work that way. She said he stole once more.
Yeah. No, she's a big help for sure. Like,
That's great.
I mean, if I need something, she is the one that to go ask to see if I could get it. If I'm ever in a pinch, but she helps me out. One of the most people to help me out, really.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. I will say the 3 of them were 3 of the calmest race fans I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times family members and stuff like that, they just get so excited and are yelling and carrying on, and they just were kind of sitting there watching. And, when your motor blew,
Yeah, I mean, that's them.
I didn't hear no ooh, ooh, or, just watching. That was fun, Blake. I really enjoyed that.
Nevada's usually a really rowdy place.
It is, but it's changing, Greg. It's getting better.
I love that place.
Yeah.
Mainly because it was rowdy.
Yeah.
Like that atmosphere.
I remember when I was a kid, there used to be an alcohol section and non-alcohol section.
Yeah.
And then there was a fight every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about. But
So growing up down there, you obviously know who Ron Bolin is.
Yep, I know the Bolins.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many great families that race down that way.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely. Oh, here's a picture from South Coffeyville here that we've got up there now with the blue number 6.
Yep.
And how many races do you think you ran at South Coffeyville? Quite a few?
I mean, I don't know a lot.
So you
A lot.
more or less you'd say that's kind of where you cut your teeth.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
'Cause you were racing there on Saturday nights, if I heard you correct there a while ago. And so that's pretty much where you started.
Yeah.
Now, how
Yep, there.
far a drive is it from where you were living down there?
It was only a 45-minute drive from Chanute there.
Well, that's not far at all. I think
Oh, no.
I think this is a picture of your mom here, I think.
Oh, no, that's my Aunt Linda.
Oh, that's your sponsor.
Yep, that's my sponsor.
Yeah, that's Humboldt, I think.
Yeah, that was probably kids' night or so there, I think.
Kids' night and aunt's night.
Yep.
Oh, I'll tell you what, while we're checking out Andy here, tell us a little bit about your car, your chassis, your motor man, and the shock package that you run on that V-Mod.
My car right now, it's a Hughes, and I'm not for sure the year. I know it was updated in 17.
Uh-huh.
And then my motor, Steve Stewart there out of Humboldt, he did my motors pretty much ever since I started. And so he's been my guy.
Yeah.
And what else was your question?
Shock. What kind of shock package?
My shocks. I run Integra shocks on mine.
Integra. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you that you were hooked up, man. I don't know how else to say it. You were hooked up to the track really well and doing great. And
Could have had that first feature win in B-Mods.
Yeah.
It was pretty darn close.
Yeah, absolutely. There again, a nice looking car, but that doesn't look like the one he's got now.
No.
In fact, some really bright graphics on it. I think there's a picture of it here somewhere. We may be coming to it here directly. Nope, I think that's the last picture right there. But anyway, Blake, we love having new people on the show and getting to know folks, and just glad to have the opportunity to be able to get you to be on with us, man. Appreciate you letting us call and talk to you, and had fun watching you race down there, and look forward to having the opportunity to see you race some more here in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on. I enjoyed it. And I'm glad I got to talk with you guys here.
I don't think I asked you, but do you have any sponsors you want to thank, or family, friends, anybody like that you want to thank for helping you out on the car?
Yeah, I mean, I got to thank my mom and dad. I mean, they helped me out a lot. And then my girlfriend for putting up with me
Yeah.
during racing season. And then my sponsors, I got B&J Auto Sales here in Joplin, McDougall Flooring, Heritage Healthcare, Iola Transmission, Houston's Tropical Snow, and then Iola Transmission. Those are my sponsors right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have them. You can't live without them.
Yeah.
It's all like racing's just too expensive nowadays for a guy to do it out of pocket. And just have to really give those guys the kudos that we can for, what they do. But anyway, Blake, we're going to let you go, man. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Hope you get that motor going.
All right. Well, thank you.
Hey, I enjoyed it especially because Nevada was like my home track for a long, long time. And that's just like teasing me with candy. To see that video.
Yeah, after seeing that.
But, man, I feel for you losing the motor or whatever happened there. So good luck to you, my friend.
All right. Thank you.
All right, take care, Blake. Be good, man.
Thanks. You guys, too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well,
I hate motor problems.
yeah, no kidding. Old and new kind of.
That'll like keep you out for. There's more chances of that keeping you out for a week or two than anything else.
Yeah. Well, and he sounds like he's pretty much a budget racer, with his financial deal the way it's going, as far as getting stuff going. So, it surprised me if he did not make it to the track this week, but because this is Thursday
Yeah.
and only 2 days, I doubt that he's going to be able to do it. Well, Greg, I know that you.
Hold on just a minute, Mike. I'm going to call you back. I'm on my show.
Greg, you were out at I-70 Friday night, man.
I did. I know they're scheduled. They don't race again until July, and I thought, man, this weekend I've got loopholes in my schedule. And,
Yeah.
Mom doesn't. I mean, when she goes when I announce, she sits up in the booth and has all the comforts that she
Right.
needs. But we did sit down in Friday night in the main grandstand. I had a buddy of mine who's had heart problems, and it was his first night out racing, and as a special opportunity, a special night, and I just ate it up. The new I-70 is going to be a huge success. I'll bet they had 10,000 people there.
Oh, really? Wow.
I went back Saturday after announcing it at Valley. We got done soon enough I could go. I saw the feature at I-70, and it was just darn near packed. There was just a few seats left.
Oh, really?
And those are people standing. I think, those people found out they were just into it. I mean, it's just like the old times, man. People would stand up there behind the seating and watch where they're
Right.
close to go get another beer.
Yeah, close to good. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was just an amazing.
Yeah. And how was the racing?
Oh, it was great. It's going to get better because they're going to learn a few things about the track. The track condition was not perfect, but it was really, really good for opening.
Friday looked really racy.
Yeah.
Because they had, 3-4 lead changes?
It'll get faster.
Yeah.
It was very acceptable
Okay.
what racing they had. I just enjoyed the heck out of it.
Okay. I just kinda wanted to see what the bird's eye view was.
Well, we, what's that? That's you, me?
That's me,
You been to Florida too, huh?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what the name of that beach is. But it's up, there by Clearwater.
Oh, near Tampa.
Yeah, I'm by Tampa.
That's when you go down there to Winter Nationals.
Yeah, when I go down in February. But, well, answer me this, what was the best thing you took away from the races at I-70 there Friday?
The atmosphere.
Oh, it had to be electric.
Yeah. And I'm become a David Gravel fan. He drove a car here in Missouri last summer.
Well, isn't he based out of,
Not now. He's driving a car, I think it's out of Pennsylvania,
Oh,
number
okay.
2.
oh,
And he's really, really good.
yeah,
He's a heck of a driver. And he does a vlog, V-L-O-G,
uh-huh,
and you can really follow him well. He kind of, I can relate to what he's trying to do.
yeah,
And I like some of these racing vloggers. There's
mhm.
Hunt the Front. You need to watch those, Mike.
Yeah, you wrote that down for me, I've
Yeah,
got it,
those-
I think, in the computer room.
And there's several teams that are doing that now. And you can follow the teams so much better and get to know them that way. And from a fan standpoint, if you're a racing fan, just Google a guy's name and see what's out there.
Yeah, you can be amazed what you can find.
But aside from that, I have a connection with Sheldon Hodenschild, and he was super, super fast. I thought that he had a chance of winning.
Didn't he drive one of the NOS?
Yeah, he
NOS
drives the
car.
NOS 17 car, which is about as good a ride as
Yeah.
that.
would
I
have
mean,
to
there
think
was
so.
a point in time where he was considering driving my sprint car for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the Hodenschilds are such down-to-earth people. They're
Yeah.
really great. And Jack Hodenschild driving for Rico Abreu, that car was not at I-70. I'd hoped it would be. Kyle Larson was there, and what a driver he is, but, there's so much competition.
Yeah,
David Gravel was super fast, and Brad Sweet, just unbeatable.
yeah,
I mean, Sweet was that was his 3rd win in a row.
yeah, that's what I saw
And
on
so-
Facebook.
And then I hear Brad Sweet is Kyle Larson's brother-in-law.
I'll be darned.
In other words, Kyle
That's his
Larson's
sister.
wife is Brad Sweet's sister, I believe. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Brian Brown was great. He's had a lot to do with bringing racing to I-70, him and Danny Lasowski. And you could tell the Knoxville influence there at I-70.
Right,
And it's all brand new, too.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
so cool about it.
yeah,
I mean, everywhere you look was brand new. It looks it'll throw you back to the days of I-70, and you think a lot of that is left over from them, but they redid everything.
mhm,
And but anyway, super enjoyable. I'm on the agreement that it needs to be a special only facility. Maybe occasionally we'll have local cars get to be a support class or something. I mean, I have no control or say, but that's just my opinion.
yeah,
It needs to be a special place.
yeah.
It really does.
Well, we'll hope that, that works out that way, because, that's the way the facility was built and what it's built for.
Right.
So, hopefully that does, and hopefully that it, how do you want to say that, incorporates into the racing scene here in Kansas City. And, everybody gets a chance to go out there, and I don't know that I'm ever gonna get a chance to be there. 'Cause like Friday and Saturday. Friday I was up at 36, and Saturday I was down at Nevada, and,
Nothing to it but to do it.
well, we'll have to see how it plays out. But,
No, they had really great video coverage. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
came home, watched it again,
yeah,
and it did not disappoint. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And the races that same Saturday, I said I went out there after Valley's night of racing was really good.
mhm,
The IMCA stock cars have brought a lot to the track,
yeah,
and the IMCA sport mods are also bringing a lot. of improved racing to the track.
Yes, I agree. No,
And,
that's a good thing for Dennis. I think IMCA is gonna help.
The
him a
Mod
lot.
Lights sanction has helped that
Uh-huh.
become a tighter group.
Yeah,
The Mod Lights put on a heck of a show.
okay.
And then I announced one night at KC Raceway this year. Tomorrow night is their second night
Uh-huh.
on Friday night, and they had the All-Star Midgets, which are now renamed Power I.
Yeah,
This is a central region
yeah,
group of midgets, and that's going to be exciting. We
Yeah.
got drivers coming from all over.
do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That
So
should
it'd be a great
fun.
night tomorrow
Yeah.
night to come to KC Raceway.
All right, sounds like a good deal. You got anything you wanna sum up, or is that it?
I'm a fanatic about racing. I mean, there's so many places I would like to go and see for the first time.
Yeah, me too.
And
I agree.
as I get older, that's kind of a bucket list thing.
Mhm.
I mean, go somewhere you've never been, folks.
Yeah.
Now that we're kind of able to get out, take your mask and social distance, but
Do whatever.
go live life, man. Experience
Yeah,
something new.
no, I agree, especially at a local track. Absolutely. But folks, I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been fun, Greg, having
It
two
was.
racers that,
Two guys I really did not know.
I was gonna say, I agree, two guys that I really did not know. And then, for Brian to win up there at 36 was, I was a little bit in awe of him, because that's a tough bunch up there
You bet.
in that stock car class at US 36, and for him to go in there and win that so dominantly was pretty good. But anyways, nice to have new folks on the show tonight. I want to thank Brian Labonte and Blake Kinsner for being on with us. And folks, I hope you enjoyed seeing those and having us talk to them, find out a little bit about them. Tell you what, if you like the show, tell somebody, start a watch party, call somebody, tell them what we're doing, let them know. We're just here to have a good time and talk about racing and try to help promote racing. If you didn't like the show, we probably just didn't have your favorite driver on. We know that. That's just the way it works, Greg.
That's right.
We've figured that out. But the best thing to do is just get on Cheeseworks on Facebook during the week, find out who's going to be on here. And if you like it, well, tune in and watch. If you don't, we won't hold it against you. It's okay. But I think that's going to do it for tonight, folks. You all have a good evening. And like Greg says, let's go to a local track somewhere. And
Or
support
not
that.
local.
Or not local, if you want to drive away. But that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Good night.
Good night. So you do these paint jobs yourself?
Yes, I did.
How do you mask it off so cleanly to do your windows?
They send you, in the kit, there's a deal for the windows only.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the rest of it, I just mask off and do myself. As you can tell over here, I get a little bleed under the...
Right.
This
So
was
what
some-
did you lay down first? You did it from underneath? You did the red
yeah,
or the
yeah.
yellow?
I think I did the yellow first. No, on this one I did the red first. I'll take
Yeah.
that back. I did the red first on this one. This one here I did the yellow first, but I did the red on the back.
Pretty cool.
But,
You did a really good job. I was impressed.
Yep. Yeah, that's neat. So are they representing stock cars or